Working in public relations was a very, very risky business. It was risky socially, culturally, personally, and financially. It was a very risky undertaking. Pay was low, perks were non-existent, we never had salary reviews, we did get 1 week's holiday period. Before we could practice our craft, however, as public relations people, we had to actually sell the whole concept of mutual understanding and trust to our potential clients or our employers. It was hard going. And for the most part, our masters of the day only sought publicity, and very often their own faces in the paper. They treated us as servants, as hired guns, as people there to do their bidding. Many believed that we were poachers turned game teams, and that we were on the side of the media and couldn't entirely be relied upon. And it forced some of us to become evangelists. To leave a job voluntarily or to be fired was either professional suicide or a death sentence. Jobs were very few and far between, and it was really, really very cold outside. The management grapevine took no prisoners, as I know from personal experience. For example, 2 of our most distinguished presidents, highly talented, skilled, experienced practitioners with illustrious war records, were fired by their bosses out of jealousy, because the bosses considered that in the eyes of the public they were more famed than they were. They never worked in our craft again. A lesson for us all. Never, ever become the story. Second, I want to pay a tribute, a short one, to a personal friend. A man whose name doesn't appear in any of the records of this fund. A colleague whose example, coupled with his vigorous, vociferous, boring sometimes, lobbying of fellow council members over a long period of time, highlighted the need and brought about the foundation of this fund and the people that you're going to learn about as we go along. His name was Basil Saunders. A lovely man. You can tell I'm Irish because we use that word out. He's a lovely man. He was. He was a sub-lieutenant in the Navy, the most unlikely sub-lieutenant in the Navy you could possibly come across. He was an Oxbridge graduate, postgraduate at Grenoble University. He was a confirmed Francophile. The only hat he ever wore was a black peasant's beret, and he actually wore it to the palace. As I always did that. His watering hole was the public bar on number 1 platform in Marylebone Station. He was a linguist. He owned the largest collection of pianolas in this country. He lectured for charity, and his theme was "Give me that old-time music hall." And occasionally, if he was well lubricated, he would do superb takeoff at the piano of Noel Coward. In the United States, after the war, he was the speechwriter for the President of English Electric, General Electric. Over here, however, he became the PR executive of the British Institute of Management, the Arts Council, the Institute of Libraries, and the Wellcome Foundation, before he entered consultancy. A Quaker, he married his Oxbridge sweetheart, who was Blue Stocking, who quite surprisingly left Oxbridge and became a crime reporter for the Daily Mirror. And she followed up becoming the famed editor of the Church Times. His daughter is Kate Saunders, the novelist, who this year has won the prize for the best children's book. Now, sensitive of the fate of so many of his colleagues, Basil quietly and vigorously set out to help them professionally and practically. He was ruthless in twisting the arms of those of us who were in better nick than the others. And it can be claimed that in doing so, he invented the public relations specialist recruitment agency business and its interim management offering. We all suffered from having to do something for Basil. He helped many a colleague through a bad patch, but much more significantly, it was his consistent and constant advocacy that focused our efforts on the board, on the council, the need for this initiative we honour today. So much for the past, the 1965 ago. In the United States, it was the time of the Mad Men on Madison Avenue, which I have to admit I was on. Over here we lost Churchill. We fated Mary Woodhouse, who was the scourge of sex and violence on TV. We went metric. We abolished hanging. We built the post office tower. We gave the Beatles the MBE. The Vietnam War went viral. Luther King was jailed. Race riots broke out. The Cold War was waging, and a bottle of whiskey cost 7 bob. From the past onwards now, through the present to the future. Now, from now on, it's all up to the fundraisers. And fundraisers, professional fundraisers, have an axiom. Name and organise to give fame to donors and helpers. Threaten to blame and shame publicly those who do not give or assist. Thank you.